here to come back for a lovely family vacation.
Yeah, well, really, Des, if you come over next year for the Ayers Action Sports Games, I mean, you'd be mad not to book an extra week and just lap up the surroundings. I've had the good fortune to have a look at some of the beaches nearby, and the facilities in the area are just absolutely second to none. So great
Beautiful
place for a holiday.
And if you want to pass the link to watch our webcast to your friends, you can either go to actionsportsgames, all one word, .com.au/live, or all one word, waterski and wakeboard world cup.com, waterski and wakeboard world cup.com, where we also have a webcast page. So here comes Igor. We can see him catching his breath on the stern of the rescue boat, coming back to the starting dock area, and we're watching now for Mr. Mark Lane.
We are, Des, but I think I saw the Mastercraft 190 tournament towboat take off, and it didn't have Mark Lane behind it.
Yes,
so
well, you see, we've lost a little time, so we want to get the surface back the same for everybody. So we're doing a phantom pass now with the Mastercraft, and then we'll pick up Mark Lane off the dock. While Mark Lane is a true professional, he can jump on occasions as much as 70 metres, quite extraordinary. But that needs all kinds of unusual setups. So we're delighted to see Igor Morozov. Igor, you're going out around the world on our webcast. Igor smiling as he comes back here to our commentary box area. So Igor, right now you're on our webcast. You can wave to all your friends back there in Florida or in Russia who are watching you there as you come back. Lovely to see you.
I'll tell you what, Des, after a crash like that, like Igor, like he's one tough cookie. Like he hit the water pretty hard, and now it's just moments later and he's waving and happy as if just nothing happened.
Oh, welcome back on shore, Igor. We're delighted to see that you're okay as we move on now to Mark Lane. Well, Mark Lane, 2011, he was with us in our World Cup stop in Linyi in China. 8-time US national jump champion. So we're just ready now to pick up Mark Lane and continue moving as quickly as we can through our programme. Otherwise, we're going to run over time. We can't allow that to happen. Mark Lane will be followed by Stephen Critchley from Great Britain, Thomas Asher, Great Britain, Damien Sharman from Great Britain. The British Air Force is here in strength. And we'll finish up this event with Rodrigo Miranda of Chile, Scott the Rocketman Ellis from the USA, and Freddie the Nightmare Kruger will be the last jumper on the water. The world record holder, the world champion, will be last off the dock. Well, if you've got a video camera, ladies and gentlemen, or you got a still camera with a big lens, get your Nikon or your Canon ready, because you're going to get more and more exciting jump distances in this latter part of the Open Men Jump Final here in Mandurah 2012. Yes, more than 1.2 million people are forecast to attend events here in WA, and they'll generate over 221 million in value for the state. And that really gives you the sensible reason why we're having such events here in Mandurah. The number of events being held by the city, absolutely stunning. 80 by the WA, should I say. 84 events hosted in 58 locations in 2012 in Western Australia. We just take our hat off to Events Corp. What an incredible job they do in bringing these events to WA. Igor Morozov, he's standing there looking at our camera. He's got a bandage on his right shoulder. Well, that was there before he went out. And fortunately, he's smiling as he makes his way back past Tanguy Benet towards our commentary box and the beach.
And Mark Lane should be on course very shortly. The Mastercraft tournament towboat headed down to the northern end of the course, and they've hooked around. They're coming back on course now, and Mark Lane is in tow. He pushes out nice and wide. Well, this is about as wide as we've seen anybody start today, so he's going to have a lot of speed. So Mark Lane, can he handle the speed when he gets to the base of the ramp? He thunders in.
Oh.
Mark Lane, well, he just sat back a little bit, I thought, Des, so he lost a bit out of the ramp, but he had miles of speed. So Mark Lane, the American, straight off the dock with a very aggressive approach.
Yeah, that was a great setup. Mark only needs to make a very few small adjustments to that one to turn that into big distance.
Yes, and that was, as we mentioned about a couple of the jumpers, well, they can use that first jump, put it down to experience, adjust the approach. The change that they would need to make would be very minute. So Mark Lane can really turn that into something pretty special if he can emulate that approach, but get the lift and the load off the top of that ramp that he needs.
Yeah, I believe we got a distance there of 37.8. Looked longer than that, but I don't think, as you quite rightly said, Mark Lane has to adjust very much to turn that into a lead distance. And just a reminder then, what is our lead? It is 43.7, and that's from Joel Wing from Australia. So Australia still in the lead.
But of course, not to forget, Des, he's tied with Felipe Miranda from Chile. It's actually pretty rare that you see a tie, because we're measuring down to 0.1 of a metre in a 43-metre distance. So it's really amazing that they've landed exactly in the same spot.
So Joel Wing and Felipe Miranda up there at the top. Well, we're past the halfway point now. Mark Lane, all the way from Seattle, Washington State, over there in the west coast of the United States. He was actually born in a place called Rome in Georgia, down south, but he's a day trader, lives over there in a beautiful city, Seattle, Washington State, surrounded by mountains, lovely beaches, surrounded by nature, gorgeous place to live. And we're ready now to bring him in for jump number one. We're just watching for the Mastercraft to come into sight.
So, Des, okay, Mark Lane, I was going to say, he must like living on the edge, because if he... Well, I'm just looking for... here's Mark Lane. He was out of shot just for a minute there and not happy with that second approach. Well, that's a shame for Mark Lane, because he had so much speed on the first jump, just back on his heels, which cost him dearly in terms of distance. And then the second approach, everything wasn't A-OK, and he had to pass it up. Well, Mark Lane must have nerves of steel, because he's a water ski jumper and a day trader. I mean, that's a bit of a combination, I'll tell you. Okay, from Mark Lane, we now move to Stephen Critchley from Great Britain.
Yeah, Stephen Critchley next, the first of the British Air Force on the water today. Stephen Critchley, he's just 22 years of age, a marine engineer. Now, he can put in whopping jumps on a good day. Right now, he's going to try and get ahead of the joint leaders, 43.7, Joel Wing and Felipe Miranda. Stephen was with us at our World Cup stop in Linyi in China, just very close to getting onto the podium there. He's a four-time Europe and Africa under-21 jump champion. We also saw him a couple of years ago at the US Masters in the junior event take that title. So a long history for his short years of climbing up onto the podium. This young marine engineer from Great Britain, Stephen Critchley, will be next over the ramp.
So, Des, it's interesting that the distances we have, a 43.7, a 43.1, two 43.7s. So everybody's kind of locked, like the better jumpers have locked down at the low 40s. We just need somebody to just break out and jump 45 plus, really. And I'm confident it's going to happen. But as each jumper comes out, I'm confident it's going to happen, but it's just not happening.
Exactly. I'm looking out also at the water. There's very little breeze around right now. And there's a little backwash from some of the buildings way down the far end, and there's nothing to prevent prevent us from sorting that out for our next visits here. But apart from that, this has been a fabulous, fabulous event. We've had a stunning time, really well organised, lovely, lovely hosts here, beautiful food, glorious sunshine, blue skies, and here comes Steve Critchley on jump number 1.
Okay, powers into the bottom of that ramp. Let's see if he can get some extension. Oh, that's a good opening jump. Well, it probably wasn't the perfect lift from the ramp, but it was so close to it. That was a big opening jump, and that could be a lead jump.
No, that's right up there, Rob. That's right up there. Stephen doing a wonderful job on jump number 1. Don't be surprised if that's over 43. It's 42.4. 42.4, the second longest opening jump of the day. 42.4. It's a fantastic start here for Stephen Critchley of Great Britain. Are we going to see a Brit on the podium at the end of this 33rd World Cup stop here in Mandurah? Well, we're going to have to wait a little longer. But, Rob, that was a beautiful opening jump from Stephen Critchley.
Was a good opening jump, Des, and I think if he starts in the same spot and he gets a little bit more sort of same speed, and gets more out of the ramp, I think he can go quite a bit further. Okay, Mark, you have somebody and you're ready to roll.
1, 2, I certainly do, guys. As they say, it's action sports, and what hotter action than look, the lovely Valleyside girls. G'day, Mackenzie. How are you enjoying the program?
Good. It's really good. It's good being down here this weekend.
Okay, and Brody, how are you going?
I'm good, thank you.
Loving the action, girls?
Yeah, definitely loving it. It's great to see everyone come out and enjoy Stream Sports. It's really good.
Okay, and you're into your motocross. Tell us about the whole Valleyside promotion. What's that all about?
We're a clothing apparel label. We actually deal with all action sports, predominantly freestyle motocross. We've got the boys doing a demo today. We're also got a website, so check us out on valleyside.com.
There you go, a great promo for a great event, the action sports here at Mandurah. Girls, you're looking lovely. Dwayne, you better zoom in on the lovelies here, right there. There you go, guys, the Valleyside promo girls. Thanks very much, boys.
Mark, you are doing a stunning job down there. And to the girls, thank you so much for helping out. You are now beamed all over the globe. You've earned a lot of new friends right now. But back on the water now, the excitement of, here we go. It is young Stephen Critchley, final jump.
Okay, on his first, he didn't get everything out of the jump, but he nearly moved himself into the lead. Let's see what he can do on the second. Oh, and he's not happy, Des, and he passes it up. Well, once again, a guy that we confidently think could have sailed into the lead, just couldn't produce the goods on jump number 2. So I think with his opening jump, he didn't get everything out of the ramp. So that meant he had so much potential there to pick up an extra couple of metres, and unfortunately not happy with the approach. So his distance will stay at 42.4. The lead still shared between Felipe Miranda of Chile and Joel Wing from Australia with a main leap of 43.7.
Well, Steve Critchley doing the wise thing there. You know, you don't take the jump if you feel it's unsafe. And the challenge today is make the most of the of whatever faces you out there. Glorious conditions. The wind has dropped down now to absolutely zero. Again, there isn't a cloud in the sky. The picture we see in front front of us here is what you see in travel magazines, places that you never would get a chance to go to. You'd say, goodness, someday I'd love to go there. Well, make sure you include Mandurah on your list. It is absolutely beautiful, as you can see down there. Well, Tom Asher is going to be next on the water. To June Fladborg. June, I am sure that you are back there in Florida watching this and watching Tom on the water. He's just about ready to go. Yeah, here he goes, taking off. Tom has been with us, of course, at so many World Cup stops. He was with us in Linyi in China. Almost got on the podium there. We saw him take the silver medal at the Katy Ski Jam not too long ago. He had about a year off because of injury. He's fully recovered now, getting back into full competition strength yet again, Rob. So this is going to be very interesting indeed. Back in Europe, well, he's almost always on the Europe-Africa Championships podium. Almost always. You tended to see Jason Seales, Damien Sharman and Tom Asher taking up gold, silver and bronze, year after year in the Europe-Africa Championships. Well, coming back to the dock now with the camera walking him back, Mark Lane, who will be heading back to Seattle probably tomorrow morning, all the way back to the west coast of the United States. So thank you, Mark, for all your efforts out there for making this such an exciting competition. 42.4 with Stephen Critchley. 42.4 for Stephen Critchley. 37.8 for Mark Lane. Back over to you, Rob.
Okay, here comes Tom Asher from the UK and comes off the wake stairs, and I thought he was, whether he just hit a roll or he wasn't comfortable, he was way on his heels, and so he probably figured, well, I'm sure he figured that between the wake and the jump, there was no way that he was going to get back into a position he needed to be, so he did the wise thing, and especially after seeing that horrendous crash from Igor Morozov, he popped the handle, skied around the ramp, and I think he made the right decision.
Okay, well, Igor is smiling here on the dock. It wasn't too bad for Igor. It always looks very dramatic in the air, but these jumpers are very, very talented. They're professional athletes. They can almost behave like gymnasts in the air and make sure they land in a position where they don't damage themselves. So Tom Asher wisely passing now. He'll put everything into his last remaining attempt, and who knows what might happen. I'm watching closely on the dock now. Damien Sharman is down there, his fellow countryman. He's preparing for his time on the water. Rodrigo Miranda from Chile, he'll be preparing, and the last two on the water will be Scott the Rocket Man Ellis and Freddie Krueger.
Yeah, well, as we said earlier, Des, with the format of only 2 jumps, it really puts the pressure on if you do pass the first one. But then at least you can put it down to experience. And that's what we did see joint leader Joel Wing do. He passed his first, but he really milked all the experience from that and banged out a 43.7 on his second. So I'm sure Tom Asher is going to do exactly the same thing, really adjust his position, make sure he's picture perfect coming into the bottom, and then really trying to get that big extension off the top.
And Damien Sharman down there on the dock watching every moment here. These jumpers, you know, they learn an awful lot for those who go before them. So being first off the dock usually is a disadvantage. Damien now looking out across the water. Look behind us here from the start dock. Beautiful, beautiful, crystal clear water back into the thousands of people lining the banks on both sides. So a big one now coming up for the talented Tom Asher. He has passed on jump number 1. He has 1 jump remaining, and it's all or nothing on this next pass. So let's wish him well.
It is, Des. It's quite a pressure situation, but these guys, like, they're such experienced athletes. They're true professionals. So, I mean, it's easy for us to talk about, and logical, I suppose, about the pressure situation and all that sort of thing, but he knows exactly what to do.
And here's Rodrigo Miranda now also watching what's happening, and I'm sure Martita and Waldo back in Santiago in Chile will be watching the boys. But back to you now on the water. Here comes Thomas Asher in his last jump.
Okay, Tom Asher. Well, I can virtually guarantee that he's going to get up and over the jump ramp this time, but can he get far enough to move into the lead? 43.7, I think, is the lead. And Tom Asher, just not happy with that approach, and he'd be devastated. He is devastated, Des. He's slapped the water, and I mean, you can't blame him for being so emotional, and unfortunately, for safety reasons, I'm assuming, had to pass up the jump, but disappointment for Tom Asher.
Yeah, it happens. It's not unheard of, but passing both, that's a tough call for Tom. Unfortunately, he won't score on that. He's the first of our jumpers to pass on both, so it's a tough call for Tom, but we move on now, and Thankfully, everybody's safe so far, and some good distances in there. Nothing but competition from these young men. Everybody wants to get on the podium, and we're down now to the last 4 jumpers.
Well, that's what makes it so difficult, Des. The normal format, like we were talking the pressure, but the normal format of 3 jumps, he'd still have a jump left to come. And admittedly, he'd be under miles of pressure, but now passing up 2 jumps is just devastating for any of the competitors.
Yeah, but you know, it is what it is on the day. You've got to adjust for that, and the best come out on top. So let's see what happens. So it is Damien Sharman from Great Britain now on the water. Let's wish Damien well. We